What's going on, Meta fam? We have an action-packed video for you here today, and boy, it is an exciting one, and we're going to show you some video footage of showing, did Finra, did the SEC possibly create their own language? Did they make the settlement dates to possibly be an issue? We're going to go over some footage that's out there that's circulating. Huge shout out to Curtis for finding this footage. But first, let's get into it. First, we are at 425 days since the MMTLP U3 halt. And yesterday's video was featuring Ralph Norman on Fox Business News with Charles Payne. And basically saying that the response to the open letter was basically nothing there. It's basically a worthless response. And I agree with Sam's post here. Patrick McHenry, it is time to subpoena. Release the certified audited share count of MMTLP. Here, Jana says here, it says the Exchange Act of 1934, the SEC cannot withhold any information from Congress or prevent the Commission from complying with a request for information from any federal department. And right down here it is. They actually got the quote from the Act. Nothing in this subsection shall authorize the Commission to withhold information from Congress, to prevent the Commission from complying with the request for information from any other federal department or agency requesting information for purposes with the scope of its jurisdiction or complying with the order of court of the United States in action brought by the United States or the Commission. So there you go. Right there it is. The Exchange Act of 1934 saying that it's basically a time of subpoena here, guys. They have to release this information. They cannot keep this from Congress. And that is exactly what they're doing here. They're stonewalling Congress. They're giving basically empty responses, pointless responses. They've had plenty of time to come up with something, and they came up with nothing. All right. Here we actually got some video footage. There is the video out here of this roundtable meeting. And I believe this was Finra, SEC, and everyone a part of that. But first, let's go into Curtis's post here. And this is he says, in other words, instead of using tools at Finra described like Rule 6490 and declaring a corporate action deficit, you published a corporate action with your own language/date to create the significant uncertainty in the settlement and clearance process and then issued a U3 halt. This was blatantly premeditated collusion. You're caught. Let's listen to this clip here from Chris Stone.
Chris Stone, Vice President in Finra's Transparency Services Department.
Vice President of Finra and Transparency Department.
And I'm responsible for the business units that run our fixed income and equity market systems. This is the TRFs that we run in partnership with our exchange partners, the ORF, the OTCBB, the ADF, and our OTC volume dissemination product. Specifically with respect to the ORF, I'm part of the team that in real-time intraday analyzes potential OTC equity U3 extraordinary market halts. And I think one thing that's worth noting is I think Finra's general theme throughout the usage of 6440 and extraordinary market condition halts is that we're not an exchange in this space. So we lack contractual privity with issuers in the OTC equity space, and we don't have listing agreements in the same way that the exchanges do. So for the 18,000 plus OTC equity symbols, and that compares with over 8,000 national market system symbols, it can be challenging to find in real time the valid information that we need to execute a U3 extraordinary market halt in the space.
Wow. Do you hear that there, guys? It just takes, you just can't find it in real time. You cannot find that in real time. Oh no, went out my thing. Let me go back. There we go. All right, here we go. I think we're like a minute in roughly.
1,000 national market system symbols. It can be challenging to find in real time the valid information that we need to execute a U3 extraordinary market halt in the space.
There it is. Challenges in real market to find a reason for a U3 halt.
That said, we have a range of exchange-like tools that we use in the space. Yvonne spoke at length earlier about our 211 qualification process. We also have a Rule 6490, which has allowed us to declare certain corporate actions deficient and not process them if we believe they're related to fraud or would otherwise threaten the clearance and settlement
6490.
system. And then obviously, lastly, is 6440, our Halt provision. So I think, I know we're going to get into this a little bit later on the panel, some other ideas around things that people have talked about and things we've thought about in terms of changes to 6440 or ways we could use 6440. But I guess that's just one thing I'd like to set the table with for Finra is I think our difference from being an exchange is kind of critical in this space.
So there you go. They have the tools, like Curtis says here, to prevent things like that, but they changed the wording, they changed the language, they changed the dates because they knew there was a big problem with how many, short shares are out there, and they did not want this to go, into the 2 days of trading there on the 9th and the 10th. Yeah. They didn't want those last 2 days of trading to come. They did not want that to happen. All right. Moving forward here. This is a clip from Cromwell Coulson, the OTC Markets president here. Now, we've featured him before. Shortly after the U3 halt, this gentleman appeared out of nowhere and started talking about MMTLP, and every time it seemed like he was faced with facts, he didn't want to acknowledge those facts. So apparently Curtis here was asking about something here about Cromwell Coulson. It's even a complicated name. Cromwell Coulson. God, that little tongue twisted. But anyway, guys, moving forward here. Liz says she found what you were looking for at Curtis here at Blue. And we got the entire video link here of this. But let's listen to what Mr. Coulson has to say.
So where we see in this role is we think we can provide a very good side of feeding information in as part of it. Who's going to the SEC, to going to Finra. When Finra has done a halt, ourselves and the market makers have been very much in the conversation.
What did he just say? Quick reaction. He says, when Finra has done a halt, him has been all in the conversation of it. So you know darn well that's why this gentleman has came out during the MMTLP U3 halt and started talking about it on his Twitter page. Let's listen to that again.
So where we see in this role is we think we can provide a very good side of feeding information in as part of it. Who's going to the SEC, to going to Finra. When Finra has done a halt, ourselves and the market makers have been very much in the conversation.
There it is. So when Finra has done the halt, himself and the market makers have been in the conversation. So you know darn well those FOIA requests from Howard that had that information leaked out where Sam Draddy was emailing people. Maybe Cromwell Coulson was a part of it. Maybe that's a possibility. Here is the actual video here. This thing is 4 hours and 35 minutes long. It's the 2018 on September 26th Retail Investor Fraud Roundtable. Now, this is beautiful that Curtis was able to get this. It's currently an unlisted video, but you have that link there. You can view it here and you can watch it. So I am going to put the link. If you would like to search through this, I have seen today there has been a lot of the MMTLP family pulling clips from that. I know, I think Curtis and Hollywood Henry said, please download that so you have it before they might possibly remove that. So there is a whole bunch. I know people's already downloaded that video, so they have it saved to their computer. And also, we got these clips out here people took from that meeting to show what was being said at that time. And it's just so ironic that these clips are back from then, being very relevant to today's case. All right. Junk Savvy did this post in breaking news in their own words. Finra acted outside their authority in conducting the U3 halt. Investors defrauded by regulators. When Finra has done a halt, ourselves and the market makers have been very much in the conversation. That is the clip we just showed right there, and Junk Savvy has this highlighted here. I'm going to deactivate the camera. Oh, I don't have to because the highlighted parts, I'm not facing and blocking it. All right, specifically with respect to ORF, I am part of the team in real time intraday analyze the potential OTC equity U3 extraordinary market halts. And I think one thing worth noting that Finra's general theme throughout the usage of 6440 extraordinary market condition halts that were not in exchange in the space, we lack contractual privy to issues to OTC. This is pretty much the wording of that first video clip here, guys. Basically saying here that yes, they acted out upon this because they're supposed to catch this stuff. They're supposed to work with the companies to make sure this is proper. And we had that timeline where someone put a beautiful timeline together. And I know it's in one of my videos. It's back there somewhere. But there's a timeline of where all the official like S1s came out. And, you know, Finra approved, SEC approved, it was all approved. And then at the very end, U3 halt. You know what I mean? Like, instantly, like, U3 halt. So they didn't catch it till like the very last second because they knew what they were doing. Curtis believes that they were definitely changing the wording, changing the dates to make sure there was an extraordinary event of settlement issues to put the U3 halt on. They wasn't actually trying to help the company and doing what they wanted to do. So, all right, guys, that is all I got for you in today's video. The pinned comment down below will be this YouTube video of the Retail Investor Fraud Roundtable. Please feel free to search through this clip, get audio clips, do video recordings. If you want to download the whole thing, make sure you do that as well. Actually, I may go ahead and download this to my computer as well, so I have a copy of it. And get clips up, put them on Twitter, whatever you need to do, save them to your computer. And that way you have them. You never know, we may need this information. Like I said, there's already a lot of great information found. There's over 4 hours to search through, and maybe there's some other hidden gems in there. So that's all I got for you in today's video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash thumbs up, drop a comment down below. Love and appreciate every single one of you all. Peace.